I'm spoiled for choice this morning, but maybe we'll just start with what Nigerians are saying about INEC's declaration, or report really, rather, that the petition to recall the senator representing Kogi Central has not met requirement. And we have the first user this morning being Tahir Prime, who says, Senator Natasha remains a strong voice for Kogi Central. This failed recall attempt shows that the people stand with her. And we saw from, more footage emerging from her homecoming that indeed the people are standing with her. We also have engineer Okezie Warwick, who says tomorrow they will come again and say that the petition has met the requirements. Well, of course, nothing is cast in stone, so we understand your skepticism. You're going ahead to say, if the lawmakers can overthrow constitutional requirements for state of emergency, who is INEC not to join body, that's speaking in the Nigerian way, and overthrow the constitution? That's section 69A. Watch out how it goes. We're watching with you, Warwick, this morning. We're keeping our eyes very close to the process, and we did ask those questions about the implications of what INEC has said. What does the Constitution say about the possibilities of that process being repeated? And of course, we'll put that through to our guest this morning. The Chris is the last writer on this particular subject, and the Chris says, political intended recall petition is not even supposed to be accepted by INEC in the first place. Well, INEC has clarified that there is nowhere in the Constitution that dictates that it shouldn't accept a petition from constituents. And of course, we cannot reject that particular explanation from INEC. But the question, more important question, or questions as the case may be, is how transparent the process has been, particularly when we weigh it against elections into the senatorial office in that particular senatorial district in Kogi State in the past, with the details that have been provided by the petitioners in this recall that has failed. Okay, let's go to the next talking point this morning, and that would be U.S. President Trump imposes 14% tariff on Nigeria's export to the United States. And Kayode, perhaps you want to take this first one.
Well, absolutely, Bukola. And this, I must say, is an issue that is rippling across the EU, particularly because we understand that the EU got 20%, while the UK has been described, Brexit UK got 10%. So even in Germany here, there are concerns, which we'll show you, by the way, on the front page of newspapers here in Germany. But let's take a look at how people are responding to it, as you said, Bukola. Take a look at the one from Dr. Penking. That's the first post on X we're looking at. It says Nigeria should fire back immediately. We are a sovereign nation and can't be bullied by, in his words, some country. Nigeria got 14%. Looking at the trade deficit, I must say that a country like Ghana got 10%, right? But Nigeria got 14%, as well as some other countries. South Africa got way more, right? So that's what Dr. Penking says. Nigeria should fire back. I'm not sure in what shape or form the firing back will be for Dr. Penking, but that's what he says. The next one, Court Hillary, says, times like this, we need our president to show up, negotiate, and proffer a solution. But yeah, the president is in France on a working visit. The Caesar says we have no details of, and I must say that France is just about an hour, 30 minutes away from here, and that's where President Bola Tinubu is. But certainly, this will be something on his mind. But the big question, as has been raised, is what would be Nigeria's decision, or at least Nigeria's reaction to the tariffs? Bukola.
Have more of that, or should we go to the next talking point now? Okay, let's go to the next talking point, and this time it's a security concern. And listen to this. Notorious bandit leader Bello Turji has reportedly killed 11 farmers in Lugu town Isa local government area of Sokoto State. And don't forget that the governor of Zamfara State had, in the last couple of months, been talking tough and was very, in fact, confident that security agents were closing in on this particular bandit leader. And, you know, but contrary to that assurance, the bandit leader seems to be spreading his tentacles, you know, causing harm in other parts of the Northwest. We're optimistic. We remain optimistic that indeed the security agents will in fact get this bandit leader and neutralize him and help bring to an end, you know, the pain, you know, and sadness that he has caused many Nigerians in the north. What are you saying this morning on the program? Erickson Power is the first user who says, I thought they said he was killed. What then happened? Does he have 9 lives? Well, there's no clarity on whether or not he has been neutralized. So if this is coming through, then that means reports that he has been neutralized to the contrary. Bello Aminu is also writing in this morning, and you say it's a surprising story to witness, given that the banditry in Sokoto State has been eliminated, and well, this bandit, you mean, had been eliminated, absolved and neutralized, seeing locals on the media applauding the current government of Sokoto State and Minister of Defense of the federal government. Well, we're reading the same stories as you are. And the Son of Man says, they know the name, they know the face, but doing nothing about it. They can threaten people expressing their dissatisfaction about the state of the nation. That's the Nigerian government's character. Well, federal government, state government, this is a feedback from a Nigerian resident, but maybe in the north, and you know, this is not a very impressive feedback. And lastly on this one is Major General Bazo, who says, how is taking the Nigerian Army and DSS, why, I believe you're trying to say, is it taking the Nigerian Army and DSS a long time to arrest this man? It seriously marvels me. You're not alone on that one. Well, that's it for that particular talking point. Kade, you have the next one.
And this one, Bukola, shocked a lot of people seeing that video trending online. The shocking moment, a car crashed into a Lagos restaurant. And the videos certainly just are gripping, particularly for the workers in the restaurant, seeing a car literally just driving through, well, not through all the way, but driving through the wall, the glass, and then just stopping right there. This user, Call Me Wells, is the first one, says that this error with the driver is common error with car drivers. You want to hit the brake, and next you hit the accelerator or the gas, as the case may be. I guess that's what happened, because if it was a case of brake failure, the driver would be able to reverse immediately. So you get a lot of people trying to make sense of what happened, and this user is one of them. The next user, that's Destroyer 1K, actually names the restaurant at Chevron, a new spot, by the way, saying, how did this even happen? That's what this user is asking. They have a sitting area outside their main dining area, and it's pretty far from the entrance. How did the driver end up doing this? That's what this next user, Ologun, is asking. And that's the question on the mind of a lot of people. In fact, on the lips of a lot of people, I should add. How did that happen? You saw the driver backing up after it happened. I'll take a look at this next one. That's from Kia. It's the car brand. Well, Kia says this was a mistake. No need to crucify the driver, saying that the driver maybe hit the accelerator by mistake. And this is what we see happen definitely from time to time. And I think it just calls for more caution when driving. But investigation clearly is still on into that to find out exactly what happened, and for that business to ensure that the area is fixed and the business can open proper. Yet again, if it's a new spot, is clearly servicing not just clients, but the employees who rely on the work done there to earn a living. And finally, from Pule, says, looks are important, but safety comes first. Owners should have installed bollards to protect people against this kind of thing. And, you know, all those metal things that you put in front of a building just by the window to ensure that cars don't go beyond that place. I guess that's what the use is encouraged. And I think it's something to look at for businesses, certainly to protect your business and to protect the people who are at your business. But Bukola, that's something that we're also keeping track of.
And you know, Kadi, these kinds of stories, you know, sort of justify the government's new regulation. Well, they've clarified that it's in line with the Lagos traffic law on speed limits in different parts of the state. So you can hardly fault state government for implementing such. But of course, investigation is ongoing to determine what exactly happened with this particular incident. Is it a reflex action? Is it reckless or a case of drunken driving? Because how do you crash into a building? It beats the imagination, Kadi. But let's go straight to the papers this morning and find out what they're saying. I'm going to start with The Guardian, and it's also always a departure from the norm with this paper, in a pleasant way, by the way, as the investigations uncover a lot of things that government officials and indeed the entire polity must reflect on. Listen to this: how vandalism, scavenging, ruin critical assets, damage the economy. And the picture does justice to the story this morning. We see, Nigerians, unscrupulous ones, albeit, doing damage to critical assets. And we've had these kinds of stories time and again, about vandalism of real lines, how they cut and, cart away the tracks. This is really unbecoming. But of course, you can find details of this story on the inside pages, 4 and 5 to be precise, from the Guardian newspaper this morning. And there are other stories on the front page of the Guardian that you may also want to catch up on. Rivers Toll Administrator, that's on the top right corner, considers new 2025 budget. That, of course, is sure to trigger a debate. But the president, while swearing him in, had given him the mandate to make regulations for River State. And there are some other stories on the front page, but we'll leave you to do the honors this morning. Kaide, you have the next one.
Oh, yes. Take a look at the front page of News Direct. Not to worry, we'll bring you some of the front pages from here in Germany and other parts of the world. But News Direct, Nigeria News Direct is next, and it talks about something from the ICPC. They have it: over 60% of local government corruption cases linked to diversion of health infrastructure funds. This is something we've been at for a while now. Yes, the Supreme Court gave the judgment, but still we're struggling to ensure that governance is delivered, if not 100%, if that's too much to ask for, maybe 80% at the local government level. And ICPC saying, well, the money meant for health infrastructure largely are diverted, and that's why it accounts for over 60% of local government corruption cases. If that doesn't send shivers down the spine of people in government, then I wonder what will. But that's the big story, something to really chew on today. Of course, the Lagos traffic situation also makes its way to the front page of the Nigeria News Direct. And you see right there, Lagos gridlock. Sanwo-Olu urges residents to embrace remote business to ease traffic. Our correspondent, Olu Phillips, has been covering that one, showing some of the challenges with the infrastructure in that area. And it looks like the governor and the minister of works, Dale Mai, may just be disagreeing on some of those issues. But the point is quite clear. ease the traffic and ensure that infrastructure is good as well. So you have to find a very good balance between those two issues. So we hope that rather than disagree and this degenerating further, the governor and the minister who represents the federal government can work together and ensure that Lagosians do not go through that nightmare again. It was a nightmare that I felt in faraway Germany, Bukola. A big nightmare. It must not repeat itself again.
Certainly not. Let's head to Blueprint newspaper, and this is how it chooses to go this morning. Edo Kano leaders have brokered peace over Uromi massacre, and this is not coming from officials of either state government, Kano or Edo. It's coming from the defense headquarters this morning, and we have a number of riders that would provide some sentiment, some insight rather, into the story. Warns against sentiments, reprisal attacks, dismisses report of Niger Republic withdrawal from MNJTF, and says Bello Turji's days numbered. And it's a reassuring story, but more importantly, it's not enough for the security agents to warn against massacre. It's more important for security agents to provide protection for all residents in Kano State, and not just the indigents, but also foreigners who may be afraid for their lives as a result of what happened in Uromi, Edo State. So it behoves on governments and agencies at all levels to ensure security of lives and property and prevent, that's a reoccurrence of that very tragic situation where, residents resorted to self-help. We condemn in its entirety any form of jungle justice in any part of the country. It provides no solution. It only heightens tension and division in the polity. And there's more on the front page of Blueprint newspaper this morning. Look at that one just beneath the nameplate. It's an interesting one. We've discovered petroleum deposit in Kebbi, and that's ascribed to Governor Idris. So Kebbi, by this, joins the list of oil-producing states, and there have been more additions in the last decade or so. There are reports, according to data, that some states have also joined the category of those who are earning from producing oil. So we require more accountability in that regard, and we hope that government officials will speak to it at one time or the other. But that's it on the front page of the newspapers this morning. What do we have for you? For starters, stay with us. We'll be right back as we look at the traffic situation in Lagos and, of course, that regulation. What does it mean for you? Stay with the Morning Brief. We'll be right back.